Okay, I am back. Let's see, so let's get the stat box up here. Yeah, Lady Midnight's was 7 strength, yes. So, let's put these in. So, Kaomi, your stats were 12 strength, 14 dex, 14 con, 13 whiz, 10 intelligence, 14 charisma. You are at least okay at basically everything. You are at least okay at basically everything. Oh no, I didn't end up sourcing any images yet. No, I have not. Yeah, that is still something I have to just like put some hours into. So let's see. I went upstairs and I'm like, perfect, a bathroom break with which I can think of an intro, and then I just didn't. But so Kaomi with the high everything, extremely high dex and con, and charisma. You would make a great bard, a pretty good rogue. You make it a pretty fine anything. Don't like a wizard would be rough. You're probably not an intelligent spellcaster, but so you find yourself on a journey to the Tower of the Moon in the land of dead gods. You've heard that this tower can provide one wish, can answer one question. Basically provide you with the thing that you desire. And you've struck out on a journey to arrive at the Tower of the Moon. And I think you find yourself in a town, a bustling town. I'm sorry, I'm definitely going to use the town I've been working on. You find yourself in a bustling market town on the edge of the desert and at the edge of the lake, across the water from the island upon which the Tower of the Moon sits. And you have to find some way. You've arrived at this town, and you have to find some way to get across the water and into the tower. The problem is, the boats that normally take people across have been closed down. There's some kind of greedy individual who has decided to keep the tower for themselves and not allow visitors. The Lord of the Simmering Island. And so you need to find some way to get across this water from town. So, how would you like to do this? Where do you start to look for a way across? How would you like to journey forward? Should also mention that you have in addition to your stats, you have a bag that has been filled with your foresight. You've bought some things, put it into the bag. You'll be able to use these devices, these items, when you need, and it'll just like take one charge from the bag. So you can pull basically up to 3 of anything you want from the bag, up to a reasonable limit. Unfortunately, you cannot pull a canoe out of the bag. That will not be an option that you have. I'm sorry. And you also have like you have your trusty weapon, whatever that may be. Is the water like a large pond lake with the tower in the middle, or is it like a coast with the tower on an island? It is like a large lake with the tower in the middle. The lake is many miles wide. It's like a great lake, and the island itself is like a couple of miles wide. The island is about a mile from shore. Do people fish in it? Generally, like, yes. But, like, boats have just been... Boats are right out. If there's any boats that come within this island, they have... You've heard that they've, like, been mysteriously disappearing, let me draw that back. There's just, like, no boats are allowed to launch from this town. Let's put it that way. Roll back the very extreme, like, no boats thing. Just boats from this town can't be launched. So there are no fishing boats going out right now. Anyone who tries to get to their boat has a rather unpleasant conversation with an armed guard. So would I be able to watch for any boats coming from said Greedy Lord that he sends across in any sort of regular schedule? Yeah, sure. I think that's possible. I think he needs supplies. He sends probably some trusted men or something across in like just a little boat on the smaller end, a little bigger than a rowboat, but like, yeah, a boat with like maybe 6 rowers, holds a bunch of cargo. So let's see. If you want to give me just a... So are you, like, planning this out at all, or is your plan to just, like, wait until the boat... Like, you're just kind of putting up watch and you're gonna, like, run up and try to get to the boat once it pulls in? Or are you making, like, a more complex plan? How much scouting are you doing, I guess, is my question. I'm not putting any kind of time restriction on you. You can decide how much of a hurry your character is in. Let's pull up that Endless Space 2 soundtrack. Like, I guess what I will say is this Greedy Lord seems to have some plan for the Tower of the Moon, so I would wait. Okay, yeah, sure. I would take a few weeks to see how often the boat comes back for supplies, how much they usually buy and take, and from where, and if the people being sent are the same people every time. It looks like, yeah. Let's see. Go ahead and make me a roll. It's just exclamation mark roll. If you want to add your wisdom modifier, it'll be just a like exclamation mark roll and then space 1. But you can also just roll and I'll manually add it in my head. Cool. So you roll a 9. Yeah, you get a pretty good idea of what's going on. You think, so you see them come back twice a week. It's on like Mondays and Thursdays. And they have nearly the same people every time. It seems like you've seen about, like I said, there's about 6 rowers on the boat, and about 4 of them seem to be the same every time. You've seen like 10 people total come across. So you have a pretty good idea of what this crew looks like, and what they will look like when they come back. And having succeeded in your scouting, your next rolls will be like a little bit easier. Anything that relies on that information. Do they take any large enough cargo that I could possibly hide in if I were to find a way? Yeah. I think so. I think you could, like... The biggest thing is probably, like, crates of grain. And you could try to hide in there if you wanted. Yeah. Wouldn't be the most comfortable ride, but you could do it. So yeah. You could, like, on a day when you know they're coming, you could, like, go to where they pick up their grain, where they buy it from, and try to kind of slip inside, make enough space for you, and hop in before they seal up the crate. Okay. Yeah, so it's like, I'm gonna say it's the morning of a Thursday. You head over to that shop, you scout it out. They start like loading up one of their crates with grain, and then like you know that they fill it up and then they like hammer, you know, they nail it closed basically. So let's see. So how would you like to approach this? Like, do you want to hop in before they nail it shut, or are you going to try to like open it back up once they shut it? Are they the ones filling it, or do the people they buy it from fill it up? Yeah, the people they buy it from fill it up. They have it ready for them when they arrive. Game Mastery Guide is up here, right? How many people would you say are doing the job of filling up the grain box and closing it? I think it's probably 2 people at most. I would say 2 people. So that's okay. I don't necessarily think that was inherently rude. So for my scouting, what would I know about the People Store? I know. You're fine. You would know... I don't know, they're just kind of doing their job. They don't really, you know, this is just like another sale for them. You know that there's like... there's plenty of time between like the bundles of grain that they bring in and like throw in the box. It's like they kind of do it one at a time. They don't have the grain ready to go, so they go in their store, they like bundle it up, they come out, they put it in the box, and it takes a little bit of time. So like you'd have time to like hop in the box in between rounds for sure, and then it would be down to a roll on how well you hide. And you also know, I don't know, it's pretty obvious when the box isn't hammered. You wouldn't have a way to like re-hammer the box from the outside once you're inside, so loosening it and getting inside at that point would probably also be problematic. Like you'd have to get a little lucky, I think, for that. Sorry for that plan to work. I didn't drink coffee today because my sleep schedule has been so wild. So, so I'm fading a little bit, a little bit. How wealthy would you say I am? You've got some gold, I think. Maybe not a ton, but with these stats, I would say you're a practiced adventurer. So you have a decent chunk of money, I think. You have an okay amount. We could like roll for it if you wanted, but yeah. I'm willing to say that you have some spare gold. Would I be able to afford a full box of grain? If so, how many boxes? Yeah, probably. You could probably afford like three boxes, I'd say. So since there are just workers, do I have any sort of connection aside from... since there are just workers, do I have any sort of connection aside from just selling grain to the Lord? Not... I don't think so. They're not really directly related to the Lord other than selling their goods. It's possible that they have like some kind of a deal with the Lord, like beyond that, but just scouting that, you're like, it doesn't seem like they have a tight connection. DC for any saving throw. Sorry, kind of reading these relic rules while we're going along. Advancement comes from gifts. Okay. Huh. I attempt to bribe them. Then about full box of grain worth each to help me stow away in the box. So there's enough space for me to comfortably travel and have the box not hammered too tightly, so I can get on my own. Okay. So you're going to give them a little money, which they won't mind. They won't mind you helping their business along. Give me just a charisma check. It'll be a bonus of 2 to see if they kind of agree with this deal. Yeah, they're fine with it. They seem like a little hesitant at first, but then then you hand them some gold and they nod. They're like, okay, yeah, okay, sure. So they will help you stow away in the box. You don't have to make a dex roll or anything to hide from them, or a stealth roll. You're good to go. So, yeah. So that morning you head over, you make this deal, and at first they seem confused, but they agree to help. They open up the box. They start putting some grain inside, and then presumably you hop inside, and they pile some grain on top, so you will be hidden, and because you kind of have their help, you don't have any trouble breathing. You're not too crowded. It's actually pretty comfortable. You've got a cushy little cushy little seat in there. Nice bed to recline in. And then they leave the top open longer than usual. Like, usually they close it up right away. So this time though, they wait for the people to arrive, and then they plop the top on the box, and then they hammer it shut, just so it was more comfortable for you that whole time. And then the people picking up the box, they lift it, and you get jostled around a little bit, and they start walking you to the boat. Green chair. I need that in Animal Crossing, man. Yeah, fair. So yeah, they put you on the boat, they start rowing, you hear the sound of their paddles. All told, it takes you're probably in the box for 2 hours. And then they set the box down. You feel the boat come to a stop, you feel yourself lifted once more, and then there's a lot of walking, a lot of getting jostled around, and then they just set the box down pretty roughly. There's a heavy bounce, and then you hear a door close, and you're in the box. They didn't open the box yet, so you're in the box, presumably alone. You don't hear anything outside now. And yeah, I guess how would you like to get out of the box? Try and push open the box from the top. Okay. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to open. Although that book was much cheaper than I thought as PDF. Try to push open the box from the top. Okay. So go ahead and make me a strength roll. Yeah. Solid. That is a success. That's not a major success, but it's a success. It's qualified success. So you start to push on the top, and you hear the wood start to creak a little bit. This isn't normally how these are opened. You hear it start to creak and splinter, and do you just kind of force it off, or do you pause and try to finesse it a little bit? Oh, sorry. Try to finesse it a bit, not open it all the way right away, just enough so I can look out. Yeah. So you back off a little bit, you kind of elbow up a little bit, push one side of the box up. You kind of push it up just enough so you can peek out kind of between two of the nails. And yeah, you see it's dark in the room you're in. It's dark, but you can kind of make out stone walls. There's a little bit of probably sunlight still, probably sunlight coming in, just a little bit, and you can see a closed door across the room. And there's other crates and barrels around you as well. Oh yeah? Okay, so I'll try to come out while trying not to damage the box top too much. Okay, sure. Yeah, give me just a dexterity check then to kind of make that come out more cautiously. You already rolled a good strength check, so... Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. There's a slight, very quiet, barely audible whining of the nails as you push them up, just the friction of the nails in the wood. But you're able to kind of push it off one side at a time, wobble it back and forth a little, and then yeah, you pop it off, and you're able to just kind of set it aside and hop out of the box. And yeah, if you peek out the door, you see that you're on the island, you're in some kind of storage shed. Like I said, lots of crates and barrels in there. Look around, there's you're in the middle of a small cluster of buildings. and I think you turn around and you look out the window behind you, and you see like the Tower of the Moon up the hill. Yeah, it's like mid-afternoon. Yeesh. How big is the room I'm currently in, and how much stuff is in it? It's probably like, I think it's like 5 by 10. It's a wide room. Door right in the middle. And yeah, it just looks like it's got a lot of like standard supplies in it. There's like food, there's wine, there's water, vegetables, salted meats, salt, whole ass barrel of salt, grain. There's probably like, I don't know, an extra couple of weapons, but nothing special. Nothing greater than what you have, whatever weapon you have with you. Yeah, it's mainly like food storage. Lynn is the salt barrel. Yeah, there's probably like a saddle in the corner too. Just like hung up. You're in like a storage shed, kind of a food shed, just well kept one. I don't even have an appropriate response to that, Kareem. That's just like good choice? Question mark. Is there enough stuff that I could probably hide behind and surround myself to hide until nighttime? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's no problem. And you can like, I don't know, you can like pound down the top of the box just so it's not sitting there open, so no one knows that, you know, someone popped out, opened it already or whatever. So yeah, you can hide in there. Make me just like a dex check, just to get yourself hidden enough where you'll be able to chill. Yeah, no problem. You're able to hide until night. Sun goes down, you now have the cover of darkness to aid you. I don't know how to get to the relic, like, gifts. Gifts table, 2 gifts shows the typical number of gifts. So I can see the tower through the window, yes. How large is the window? Could I fit through it? And how far does the tower look from here? The window is both high and small. It's like kind of a slit. I think it's mostly just to let it like air out so it doesn't get too hot in here, kind of a vent. And the tower doesn't look too far. It's like less than a mile, I would say. Like you can't even see the whole thing from this angle. You just kind of see the side of it. Side of it's blue. It's like dark blue stone. And I should say, like, yeah, while you were hiding in there, yeah, we are Towering of the God. Kaomi is playing at the moment. And while you're hiding out in there, I should say that, like, yeah, someone does come by and like come in and grab a couple of things, grab like a crate from inside, bring it somewhere else. Yeah, Kaomi got some real strong stats. So yeah, but anyway, you hiding was a good move, and you are not discovered. Kaomi almost had 4 wisdom, but Lynn bought him a reroll, which is part of why I'm going to be getting rid of, like, that's That's not what the rerolls are meant for. So, yeah. How long ago would you say was the last time I heard someone come by? I think you permanently hear... Can't stop, won't stop the rolls. You kind of just permanently hear people patrolling around outside. Like, it just doesn't really stop. So, like, every couple of minutes, you'll hear someone walking by. You'll hear the sound of boots on, like, gravel. And then a couple more minutes, boots going back the other way. You see, like, torchlight filtering under the door as it gets dark. So you're never, like, completely alone, but you think, like, probably between the patrols, you could find a spot to sneak out. Well, yeah. Kaomi could have that goal at the top of the tower, who knows? Right now he's just getting to the tower. Thank you, Cora, that's very kind. And not true, but thank you. I'm into the meme, it's fine. I suppose I could just open up the PDF, huh? I have it, so. Don't I? Core rulebook, PF2 GFG, there it is. After the lights go out, I'd like to set a trap somehow and leave the door open. Oh, okay, a bit to possibly lure in the guard. Sure. Yeah. So you like, sure. Okay. I think the trap is going to be loud, but yeah, you can like, oh, I don't know. It depends. You can describe the trap to me, but otherwise I'm just going to assume that you're gonna like topple a barrel on him or something, or like crack something heavy over his head when he comes in. But yeah, you just leave the door ajar and wait. And some sort of rope trap? Okay, sure. Yeah, you just like tie a rope across in front of the door, I think. And you hear like the footsteps come up, and you just like through the door or around the door, you hear like a and see the light coming closer, the footsteps coming closer. And as he's about to like step inside, I guess you is it as simple as you just like pull on the rope, pull it tight, and he like trips on it, falls forward. Describe it more, sure. Artifacts are not what I want. I want the... Oh my, I don't want the page by page. Give me the chapters. Tools, creatures, hazards, items. Effects. Cursed items, relics. That's what we want. Let's go here. Oh, yeah. So basically, I'd hide behind the door, or just a bit out of sight. So the guard, so the guard comes in enough that I can ring the rope around his throat. Oh, okay. Guess it's not really a trap, just a weapon of choice, surprise attack. Sure. Sure, yeah. I don't even think you have to use, like, there's rope in here, and there's rope around, like, some of the barrels and stuff, so you just cut some of that. You get this ready, and yeah, you can, like, he enters and, like, walks in, and you just, like, jump forward, and you're able to just wrap the rope around his neck and, like, choke him a bit. Choke him out. Go ahead and make me a strength roll, just to see if you can, like, keep the grip long enough to knock him out. Slash kill him. I don't know what your goal is. Yeah, there's like a struggle. He like hits your hand a couple of times, and then he falls unconscious after like making some noise. And then go ahead and just make. Yeah, you're free to go from there, I think. Does he look like he has a uniform? Not... I don't think so. I think this is like a... I guess, yeah, he's probably got a uniform. And you have seen more, like, guards than, like, the team you saw going back for food and everything, so... Like, you don't recognize this guy, so yeah. Yeah, he's got a uniform. You could, like, swap out for the uniform. That's fine. If you want to put it on, just give me a charisma check to, like, disguise yourself as someone from the Lord's team. Hide his body, okay. Yeah, oh my god, yeah. Totally, you're fine. You look exactly like someone on the team. You're able to, like, he's got, like, a hat. You just, like, pull the hat down, and, yeah, no one can tell you're not... No one cannot tell you're not Steve, the unconscious guard. So, yeah, you, leave. Presumably, you are disguised, and you're able to walk around mostly freely. You also have a torch if you want it. Yep, okay, you take the torch. I don't think Kaomi has rolled a fail yet. So you leave the storage room, you see, yeah, there's like, I think you hear laughs. There's like a house with a lantern on in the window, and you hear laughs. You see someone like slam down some cards. And, you know, you look up the hill. It seems like there's a couple of like guard rotations going up and down the hill to the tower. And yeah, other than that, there's just a couple buildings spread around. Okay. Oh, so the storage room ended up being its own building. Yeah. It was like, it's like a storage shed, basically. And like, it was smart to wait and swap out the outfit. Like, there's definitely people in the window that like see you. I think someone like waves to you, like waves for you to come play cards. You're just like, nah, man. Nah, I'm okay. He shrugs, takes a drink. Yeah, sure. So, like, there seems to be some kind of guardhouse where there's some folks playing cards and laughing and just having fun. And then there's, like, you know, a couple of other buildings in this little cluster where your shed was. Your shed was kind of on the corner. And then there's, like, a path leading up to the Tower of the Moon. And along that path, you can see a couple of, like, torches moving in the night. Conjuration. Life gifts. Fiend gifts. Not really. Oh, that could be actually. I attempt to walk toward the tower, and my goal is to talk to one of the guards patrolling the path. Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah, they see you coming, and they give you a wave, and they just keep on their patrol until you, like, walk up to them on the path. And they say, they'll say, like, hey, I've got another 2 hours on my rotation. You're not, I think both of us, both I and Podrick do. He like jabs a thumb to the other torch walking like up the hill behind him. He's like, what do you need? It sounds like he's assuming you're early for your shift and is like, you don't need to show up yet. Did I miss fire gifts? Air, beast, celestial, death, earth. Fiend. Fire, there's fire. Okay. That's what I wanted. Fiend could also be interesting. Your strike with your relic deals damage to a creature within 60 feet. Creature must typically save. Sweet. I tell him I ate too much and decided I might as well start my day early by walking it off a bit. I asked to join him on his next trip towards the tower and keep him company for the hell of it. Yeah, give me like a... Go ahead and give me a charisma check. It won't be too hard, just a success on a 6 or higher. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, he like shrugs. He's like, sure, don't mind the company. Just, you know, do me a favor, keep your eyes out if we're gonna, you know, help me keep an eye on things. And yeah, you can join him. He walks all the way back down to town, and then he like starts up the hill again. You can see that the torch up the hill is like on their way down. So kind of crossing back the other direction. So what would you like to do from there? Profane energies. Twist your weapons, filling them with rage towards everything good. Wow. I do a mix of fiend gifts and fire gifts for like the ever-burning ember. I'd like to chat and see if I can attempt any information from him about what's happening inside the tower. Maybe how many people there are. Yeah. Sorry to make you roll the same check again, but give me another charisma check. A little harder this time. And yeah, we'll see what he says. Wow. Wow. Okay. So you get the rundown. Yeah, no bad rolls for Kaomi so far. Jesus. You he starts off by being like, I don't really know that much about what's going on inside the tower, but I don't know, I've seen the Lord going in and out himself. No one else is really allowed in and out. Spends a lot of time at the top of the tower. He's talked to me a couple of times. Seems like he's trying to figure out a way to get more wishes out of the tower, which is good for me. The more times he can wish for $1 million, the more times we all get paid, right? So, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping he succeeds. And, yeah. It seems the Lord is alone in the tower. And, you also hear that he's kind of been getting more antsy, getting a little more irritated as he's, like, failed to get what he wants from the tower. So it seems like he's a bit of a loose cannon at the moment. Although he seems to like this guard okay. So when we get close to the tower, about the point where the guard would turn around, I would tell him, I need to rest there, and I'll head back down. And the food and the walk ended up cramping me. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. I think he's fine with that. You've rolled really well on your charisma already. He seems to like you quite a lot. So yeah, you just you tell him this, and he nods. He's like, all right, well, I hope you feel better. Maybe I'll bring some water up. You know, next time I come back, and yeah. And he just heads off back down the hill, and you are left alone. The torch is kind of like approaching, you know, the one going down the hill. I guess it's already like past you. So he leaves you just literally at the gate of the tower. And you're alone there. He starts walking back down the hill. Like clockwork, the other torch at the bottom starts walking back up. And I think that's the end of that soundtrack. Yep. Okay. Oh, let's listen to... hold on. Let's go to the Stellaris mix. Let's see. I also put out my torch when I sat down, as I told him, yeah, you needed to rest so the light. So my light is out. If I was holding one, yeah, you still have the torch. Still have the torch from the guy in the shed. That took me a minute. So yeah, you still have the torch, but you put it out. Yeah. And the other guard leaves line of sight. You see that, like, the torch down near the town kind of stops. So you're looking at the gate now. Exactly what am I saying? Yeah. So down the hill, first of all, you see, like, the guy with the torch coming up from the town. He stops, and you don't see exactly what's happening, but then you see a couple of more torches light up. And then a handful of torches start walking up the hill. And then, yeah, you turn and you look at the gate, and it's just this imposing gate. It's like a steel gate that's probably like 15 feet tall, like a little more than twice, well, 12 to 15 feet tall. It's at least twice your height. And it's got like a mural kind of embossed on it of just like someone. It's got like a crescent moon at the top of the door, and then like kind of a heavenly figure descending from the moon, holding their arms out, and someone on the ground, like at a diagonal from the moon, is like sitting there on one knee, like head down, hands crossed, praying. Other than that, it doesn't look like there's no like handles on the door or anything. No handles, no latches, no locks. Walk up to the door and try to open it. Turns out these adventures are really awesome when you engage properly and don't just harass the streamer. Who knew? I mean, this is also much longer than I intended them to be, but it's fine. So yeah, you walk up to the door, you try to open it. You you push on it. What? Oh, it's fine. Like, it goes long because it's not your fault. It's not your fault at all. Like, I just need to get better at running them and streamlining them and figuring out like beats to hit and move on. But yeah, you walk up, you push on the door, you like press your hand to it, and you think that you see something light up from like around where the moon is. Not only just like the moon on the door, and also like kind of the moon, like the actual moon. You feel like both of them blink. And that way you look up and they look fine. They they're not lit up, but whatever. You shake your head, you push open the doors, they swing open easily-ish. Like there's a weight to it, but like once you push, they kind of like swing the rest of the way on their own. And yeah, you're able to walk in, and you look up and you see like there's a spiral staircase in front of you that winds like all the way up to the top of the tower, and you look up and you're able to see a crescent moon near the top. and you are free to ascend the stairs if you want. I think they were all fine. I think they were all great, and thank you for doing them with me, guys. Hopefully they're fun. I have no idea how this feels for the people on the other end, so hopefully they're cool. But I have no idea. It's probably a not for everyone kind of thing, but hopefully it's enjoyable. Okay, I'm glad. You're fine. You guys are free to like chat while this is going on. Like that's totally fine. Anything else around beside the stairs? There's like, miss your horse, Trogdor. It's a good horse. So there's like outlines. There's outlines of other doors around the side, but they're not currently. I don't know. They're just outlines. They look like they're just outlines. Other than that, it's just the stairs up to the top. And the tower is not particularly, like, big. It kind of looks more like a lighthouse than anything. It's like 20 feet from one side to the other, maybe. It's like maybe a little more than that, but its height is definitely much greater than its width. And the door behind me, is there any sort of handle from the inside? It's the same as the outside. It's like smooth on both sides. There is just the mural, the embossed art. What do the stairs look like they're made out of? Kind of the same, just blue stone. But there's like kind of an ornate hand railing with like lots of little designs, moon motifs. Kind of like vines spiraling around them. Let's see. Start climbing the stairs. Fair. All right. So yeah, you start heading up the stairs. How wide are the stairs? They're like, they're not extremely wide, but they're about two people wide. You know, not two D&D people. They're not 10 feet wide, but they're like they're about 6 feet wide, I think. They're roomy. They get a little narrower up at the top. Also, you're not sure exactly how it happens, but like, as you start walking up the stairs, what starts as like a crescent moon design at the top that you can like barely see at the bottom of the stairs, it like progresses into just a full moon by the time you are reaching the top. And there's like just a ring of this blue stone around the outside, and then not glass exactly, but like see-through stone or some kind of something that is like has got the moon design on it. And you walk up. You ascend. You come out the top of the stairs, and whatever the phase of the moon was when you were at the bottom of the tower, it is now also full. And like, I think you start looking at the moon, and then you look down, and there's a man standing there, long like a black, long black cloak, silver hair, I think. And they're just like, they're standing there, holding their chin, and like pacing back and forth in front of this altar, looking at it, looking up at the moon, and they like hold up a hand, and they're like, "Why do you not answer my request? I simply wish to have more knowledge than one question. Please." And he's just pacing in front of this altar, and you are alone with the this lord. No, they're pretty oblivious to you. They're pretty oblivious to you. Am I able to tell his physique, like how strong he might be? Yeah, he looks lithe, but not particularly strong or beefy. You see he's got like a rapier at his side, and he's just long, lanky, wiry. Seems like he could be fast, but ever. English relic? Fire? Were there any windows or any way to see outside what's happening in the tower? So I guess right now you're on like the roof of the tower. I should mention that. But yeah, as you were coming up, there were like stained glass windows along the inside, but nothing you could see through super easily. Yeah, the Stellaris music is real good. Let me just grab a link to this too. It's like this song in particular has just the best build-up. Like, holy crap! It takes so long to get to this crescendo, and then it's just so good. Big fan, big fan, big fan. I should use this in D&D more, but it doesn't like fit any situation my party is ever in. I would call out to him, sounding hurried, urgent. I tell him there's been a riot from the other guards, and they're currently walking towards the tower. Oh, wow, okay. I will definitely take a look at those, Cam. Yeah, so he snaps his gaze to you, and his eyes are, like, wide. His pupils, like, dilated, and, he had no idea you were there. So he looks both surprised and angry, but he doesn't hesitate, despite his surprise. He's like, a riot! Absurd! And, go ahead and make me a charisma check to see if you can convince him. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Is that good enough for final boss, Sama? Lynn says not good enough. Let me see. How do I run a poll? Or actually, no. Let's see. Whatever. He's gonna just do... We're just gonna do... Just a... We don't usually do this. And I don't... Yeah, but we're gonna do an opposed roll. So... He's gonna be trying to determine whether you're telling the truth. I'm just gonna do a flat roll. He's not particularly wise. He does not succeed. So your 9 beats a 7. And yeah, I think he like storms past you. I think he like pushes you out of the way a little bit and starts like descending the stairs. Well, first I think he pushes past you and he looks towards the town and he sees the torches kind of like waving near town, and I don't know if you look at this, but like the torches have kind of stopped moving and it's like a little blurry and you kind of can't tell whether there's like 5 or 8 or 10 torches. It seems to kind of go back and forth, and it's very strange. But despite having, well, yeah, he sees that, he swears under his breath, and he starts just descending the stairs. So, yeah, you are left alone with the altar. You are free to approach and claim a wish or one piece of knowledge. And like, I think as you look back to the altar, there's like it looks kind of like a celestial figure like bathed in this like kind of soft blue light, like steps onto the tower from off. So there's, edge of the tower, figure just walks onto the tower and like stands behind the altar, and they're like kind of barely in focus. It's like they're not quite in this world yet. Yeah. And if you don't have any particular piece of knowledge or any wish that you want to say your character makes, we can just like fade out on it. Just like let me know. And I'll kind of describe what happens after. Fade out? Sure, yeah. So we see you like walk up to the altar, and we don't actually like you see you maybe mouth something, but we don't hear the words. And then we'd like jump down. Camera's jumping down to like the Lord walking out. Yeah, we can hold on. No, not really, says Green. Not a man of mystery. Harsh. I just realized I need like a sub badge better than... I guess that's the bits leader thing. I also need a sub badge. I need all of these things. Also, okay. Lena is VIP, it's true. We should like, I don't know. Afterward I can talk briefly about these loot ideas. I've been like churning my head while we're doing this, but yeah. So I think, while you are deciding on your wish, though, like the camera does jump to, after you approach the altar, the camera does jump to the Lord, who's like emerging from the tower, and as he walks out of the gates, yeah, no, take your time. We're just gonna focus on the Lord for a moment. He walks out of the gates, and the doors just like slowly close behind him. I think we see it. Let's see. I think we see a different mural from the backside of the door, and and it's like we don't see the whole thing because the camera is super zoomed on just like the crack of the door. So like the door closes and we just see the Lord's face, just like on the embossed image on the backside of the door. We just see his face, just angry, and like holding a sword out against his men as like the moon, like this heavenly figure looks down disappointed at the Lord. And you know, he descends the tower. He gets down to start scolding his men to confront this like riot, the supposed riot. And like there's just kind of a like this low bell sound, and like the camera turns back. The Lord doesn't turn back, but the camera turns back, and like the door on this tower like fades out of existence. The tower's still there, but the door disappears. And yeah, then we can jump back up whenever you're ready to, like, if you make a wish or not. But the Lord is now like locked out of the tower. He's been deemed unworthy of the tower now that a less greedy soul, potentially less greedy soul, has arrived and made a declaration of their desire. This is not the header. What the? Okay. That's a little weird that that's happening. Separate it a little bit, maybe? Heading? Sure. There. Wish for more wishes. That's what the Lord did! It didn't go well for him. The Lord was Cam, as it turns out. Well, I want to wish for more knowledge. I'm just trying to be more specific. I think my goal would be I just want to learn the truth of the God's Tower. Okay, yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think we can, like... Let's see. So I don't think I have an actual answer to that question. I should, but you know what? So okay, if you want to ask about, I think we might hear you ask about like the connection of the dead gods and the tower. And like maybe you ask a more complicated question than that, but part of the snippet that we get back is just that like the tower, the priestess who came down, the replacement for the one that for the moon priest Sambert that Kareen took away last time. She says that the tower is how we speak to the moon. And the moon whispers those words to the god's dream. And like, we don't get clarification on that. That's just what it says. So, and like that's kind of the only snippet that we hear of that conversation. Yeah. So that'll be the end of that. And then I think we just drop the camera down for like looking at the Lord stampeding away from the tower and start to like draws his rapier and is like, you so and so, and starts just yelling at his men. We don't really get clarity on what he says, but he's mad. The men are confused, and he goes in swinging. Anyway, so thank you for playing. Hopefully that was fun. I didn't expect for a lore question at the end. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you stole not well. Okay, yeah, sure. You stole that avatar of the goddess of the moon. That's fine. So while we were doing that, just very briefly, I like started to look at kind of the loot table. Does that mean that you are the tower? I don't know. I don't think so. You didn't wish to be the tower, you just wished to take away the priestess. I'll climb you too. But yeah, I just like was looking at the relic loot situation for Pathfinder, and I think the Ever-Burning Ember is going to be some kind of fiendish relic, maybe like just a mix of things. It's probably going to be have to be heavily altered compared to what exists in the book, but some kind of devil tinted thing. Yeah, good night, Green. Thank you for stopping by. I'm also gonna hop off just in like a moment, but so Ludwig gets the Ever-Burning Ember. Oh, thank you, Kaomi. Thank you for the bits. I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad that was interesting. I hope it was interesting. We can talk about it later, but tell me what you liked or what you perhaps thought could be improved upon. But yeah, so I think there's also going to be some kind of fire relic either on Salamander or in the temple below, and like since Sonus is a air elemental sorcerer, he might get like an air relic from the Guardian, who I need a better name for. That's one of the names I need to come up with. Okay. Anyway, and yeah. And then like Eve has the Jade Fang, which I think will continue to just get like a variety of abilities depending on what Eve picks. And I think even though all the players might end up with these relics soon, I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're gonna like all activate at the same time. Like the Ever-Burning Ember doesn't technically have to activate now. It can activate when Ludwig gets into a tough spot or when like the moon shows up next time and he has to try not to transform into a werewolf. So that's kind of my thoughts there. Like I said, I need to come up with some more NPC names or just like the harpies when they show up. And that's it. I don't think there's anything more I want to prep tonight, so we can just call it there and head to bed. Yeah. So yeah, thank you again, Kaomi, for running that with me, and thanks everyone else for hanging out. And we're gonna try to find someone to raid. Briefly try to find someone to raid. See if anyone from the fam's on. See if Mayuki is on. Mayuki is on. They might be ending soon, but that's okay. I think that's really it. I don't see anyone. I thought Kage's on, but I don't feel. That feels like a reach, is what I'm saying. So yeah. I hope everyone has a good night. We're gonna head over and raid Mayuki, and yeah. They're not a Pathfinder game, but they're a fun actual play that I enjoy tuning into, and they're pretty chill. So yeah. Other than that, I hope everyone has a good night. Let's start the raid, and hope to see you guys all tomorrow for the actual play, and then yeah, with Michael Thursday we're doing the Path of Exile intro, and depending on how long that lasts, we may or may not play Persona 5 on Thursday. And regardless, we'll definitely be playing Persona 5 on Friday. So yeah, loaded end of the week. Look forward to seeing you guys for that. Have a good night, and yeah, talk soon.
Yeah.